Hold on a second.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the Village of New Glarus Board meeting to order. Please silence all cell phones and refrain from using during the meeting. I look for an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, public appearances and citizens' comments on items not listed on this agenda. Items will not be debated or acted upon at this meeting, but will be referred to the proper staff or committee if action is required. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Aaron, did you want to speak at this time?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I'm here on behalf of a lot of your businesses in New Glarus that have contacted our ATV club to see if the village would be wanting to work on opening streets to get people into town to support your businesses now that we got the township in New Glarus open. So we wanted to see about going about getting on the agenda and discuss it more.
okay.
One other thing I was gonna mention, it's been a hassle since we got New Glarus Township open because people don't understand New Glarus Township. The village is separate. We're trying to advertise it, keep it posted, keep people knowing. I know I've heard people have come into town that we try to be a little leniency on them and say, hey, go back out of town because we don't want to discourage them from coming to New Glarus, of course. Right. But yet, want it done legally. So I agree with that, but it's been I think you guys are the only ones, we do have a Monroe Township, but Monroe is open, so that don't bother, but I know that's been a discrepancy and we're trying to get the word out that that's how that works, so.
Okay,
Just, I don't know what else, but if you guys would want to put it on an agenda in the future, we'll come back and we got some business owners in town that want to come and help us support this.
okay. Well, thank you much, Aaron.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I guess nobody else wanted to speak, so. I guess.
Okay.
I guess if you guys want to stick around, you can, or whatever. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing on the agenda about this.
Yeah,
tonight,
so if we want to get on like next month's agenda or something over it and discuss it more.
Okay,
Yeah, so typically what the board does with public comments, because we can't legally converse, the board, and specifically the village president, will give direction to the staff on how they want to handle public comments,
Okay.
including how to handle getting it on an agenda.
Okay.
So,
And that's kind of why I
Yep.
come, because I wasn't sure how
Yep.
you guys run
Nope.
things, so.
nope, that's totally
We've been to
fine.
so many different townships and villages, everyone's different. so.
Yes, no, appreciate
Okay,
it.
thank you, guys.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay, Aaron, thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Nice seeing you.
Okay, item 4, approval of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business. A, public hearing and consideration discussion ordinance 26-04 to amend chapter 305 in the municipal code to adjust minimum lot area per dwelling unit in C1 commercial districts. Wow, okay,
Yes. So we need a motion to open the public hearing.
okay.
I motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, all in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now open on this item. Kelsey?
So I'll give an overview, and then if anybody from the public has any questions. So this is really more of a housekeeping ordinance than anything else. I was reviewing our zoning ordinance with village planner Mark Roffers, whose memo is included in the packet. And the density requirement for our commercial, our C1 zoning district, is, to be very honest, unattainable in today's standards. The square footage previously required, we have a number of apartments in the C1 district that are not compliant with that. So we decided that it was time for an update. We looked at what all of the other area communities around us do, specifically the ones that have apartments, and kind of matched it to their standards. This is also obviously is coming at a time where we have an apartment development coming with Prairie House Phase 2. So I just want to reiterate that while this goes hand in hand in terms of an apartment complex like what they are building, this is really a housekeeping to bring all of our C1 apartments, most of them, if not all of them, up to code. And something that we feel is extremely reasonable, still protects the village from overcrowding, if you will, but promotes apartment living in a realistic square footage environment. Should we see if there's any
Is there
public and
anybody
then we
from
can
the
close
public
it?
that wants to speak about this item? Greg, not you, okay?
Believe it or not, Roger,
I'm not gonna sleep well tonight. So,
Close it, yeah.
okay, we'll take a motion to close the public hearing then.
Motion to close the public hearing.
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Now,
Now, Peggy, you can speak.
So this was approved by the planning commission, correct?
correct, yep,
And it's
recommended for approval.
recommended, it hasn't been, I'm trying to think, I haven't talked with the planning commission but I do have a couple of concerns and I just want to
Sure.
run those past you.
Yeah,
my
yep,
residents. So
yep.
I'm just thinking about meaningful housing.
Yep.
And I looked up Stoughton, Verona, and Alpora,
Mhm.
and their units per acre are 15 to 30, that's Stoughton. Verona is 20 to 40, that's Verona.
But was this in their
How much-
commercial district, Peggy?
Pardon me?
Was this in their commercial district?
Yeah. that's
Okay.
it. So I support it, but I mean, density of it,
Yep.
if the road can handle it, if we can handle all that traffic and the biggest thing for me is the apartment type.
Mhm.
You know, the first one that we had, when I saw how high it was going, I was like, wait a minute, we mandate, Swiss aesthetics on the facade, certain colors of roofs, and then we make that particular apartment area sort of counterintuitive to what we want. So do we want to evolve as an apartment district? Is that
Yeah.
what we want? Because I do have issues with that.
Yeah, good question. So a couple comments to your comments. If you're speaking about Prairie House specifically, they are not in the Swiss design overlay. So they do not have those same requirements. The Swiss design overlay, you can see it on the map. It's in your packet. It's hard to see. But we also have a village ordinance that states how high apartment complexes can be, which is the 3 stories, which is what that is. So we do have a village ordinance
So
that
we're
talks about
right.
height. Yep.
Okay.
This and like I want to reiterate again that while yes, we have the Prairie House apartment complex happening right now, and that's obviously one of the reasons why we were looking closely at this. All of the apartments in the C1 district, including from Backtown all the way downtown, everyone that we looked at that we know that there is apartments do not meet our current density requirement. Now, you may ask, how are those approved? That's a great question. I don't know. Frankly, different leadership, different administrators, depend on a village planner more than others. Obviously, Mark has been working very closely with us on this Prairie House project. And so it's just one of those things that just wasn't caught previously. But this is really just bringing the current facilities that we have to code. This is not necessarily increasing it beyond what we already have, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
So this isn't necessarily encouraging like high-rise apartment complex. It's
Yeah,
really
I just wanna
encouraging
make
like
the housing-
not single-family homes sitting on top of a business, because that's really what our previous density requirement was. Like I think it was 2,000 some. I mean that's a single-family home.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be contrary, I just.
No, that's all good points.
Responsible zoning.
Yep.
So that
Yep.
we, currently that would add a lot of density to that particular area with traffic and it would be our responsibility to, go in and walkable or
Yep.
what have you, which I don't have a problem with. I just want to make sure that doesn't turn it into a metropolis.
For sure.
For
sure.
Because we're all here for the same reason,
Yep.
which is, small town. So I
No, it's great
support it,
points.
but,
And I would also say too, that any future developments have to go through the same rigorous, is what I would call rigorous plan schedule, where there's multiple steps that they can't just simply come in, buy land and decide they want to build an apartment complex. It's all at the end of the day up to the planning commission and village board.
So if I refuse to approve or abstain, does that mean that I am abstaining from that zoning change, not necessarily the building aesthetic. I mean, this is a completely two different things.
Yeah, so what's on the agenda tonight to be discussed and what the public hearing was in regards to was changing this specific zoning ordinance amendment. It is not, nothing to do specifically with Prairie House. The other thing I will remind the board is that abstaining from a vote should really only happen if there's a conflict, if there's a reason. If you simply are saying, wanting to abstain because you're not in favor of it, but you don't want to, necessarily say that, that wouldn't really be a reason that we'd abstain. You'd abstain if there's a conflict that you really shouldn't be partaking in the vote.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, I'm not against it. I just want to make sure that the board, we are sensitive to going forward, how we develop this, because our, the bottom line here is that's what sustains us.
For sure,
So I want to make sure that we follow that cautiously.
for sure. Yeah, that's a great point. And I would remind everybody too, that this only applies to the C1 commercial district. This is not in an R1. And actually not in the C2 either. This is specifically C1.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good, no, all good comments and questions.
I move to approve ordinance 2604 to amend chapter 305.
Second. Oh, John did it before.
Got that? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, consideration discussion R26-18, appointment of Shelley, the Golden Fleece LTE tour guide. Kelsey?
Yeah, so I'm very excited to have Amelia. Amelia, would you mind standing up just so they know who you are? Amelia is not a new face to the village. She actually works at our swimming pool as well. So she's going to kind of be doing double duty for the village this summer, which is really exciting. As you may remember, last year we approved adding a tour guide, a paid tour guide position to our chalet. We went through the interview process and decided to hire Amelia. I worked with the Friends, Sandy Bloom specifically. Yeah, we think Amelia is going to be great. We're really excited to have her start, and all of the details are listed in the resolution. If you have any questions for Amelia, she's here, but really just so you guys know who she is.
I hear you're already doing a great job.
I have one shift and it went very
Record sales. No. Awesome.
Motion to approve.
Thanks,
Go ahead.
Amelia.
Does anybody else have anything else? Motion to approve R26-18 appointment of Shelley Philippines LT tour guide.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Amelia.
Thank you. Welcome to the team again.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Good night. Item C, consideration discussion R26-19, 2025 CMR report.
Yeah, so this is an annual thing, so it should look familiar to all of you. And Amy does have a printed copy of the actual report and resolution. I did email it out to the board, and Amy also added it to the packet online. But this is a report required by the DNR for our wastewater treatment facility. I'm extremely happy to report that this year we actually had a perfect score. So yeah, which is probably one of the reasons that we are awarded the 2025 Facility of the Year. So yes.
And I wonder why people drink bottled water. We have proof here.
Yeah, that is true,
Yeah, we don't know where bottled water is coming from.
We do have great water here. So obviously Scott and Rustin and their team are great stewards of our natural resources here. And yeah, really a great testament to the work that they've been doing. But all of that to say the resolution looks a little different this year because usually we have to put in the resolution all the things that we need to improve on, which historically has truly only been making sure our operator is working towards their licensing. If you don't have a fully licensed operator, but you have somebody in training, that's technically a negative, if you will, on this. But Rustin's fully licensed, so there is no recommendations from the DNR for improvement. So it's really exciting.
We could have Newler's cap on the bottle at the treatment plant.
Perfect. I'm sure everyone would be racing to drink that, Larry.
I'm sure that's a good selling.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the beer was so
That probably is. That probably is.
Definitely not influenced.
So,
Okay, anybody got any more questions on that, or otherwise we need a motion to accept?
Move to accept.
we're gonna approve the resolution actually. So you're gonna be approving this right here.
R2619 CMAR report year 2025.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item D, consideration discussion 2027 budget timeline and procedures. Kelsey?
Yeah, once again, another annual thing that you guys are hopefully used to seeing. This is kind of the kickoff to our budget season, which is crazy to say because we just finished the audit. But 2027 budget is already underway in terms of staff time starting. You'll see the memo in your packet that outlines the budget timeline. The bolded sections of the timeline are board action. So obviously tonight we're starting with reviewing the timeline and hopefully approving it. If so, it becomes a lot of staff work from now until October. And then we'll be seeing a lot of you in September at the committee level for those different budgets. But then in October, things really heat up and we do our budget workshops. Village board public hearing is slated for the first Wednesday in November ahead of our board meeting that night. And then we're adopting the budget on November 18th, which is our second meeting in November. So following actually the same dates as last year because that's just how the calendar worked out. But yeah, nothing to report in terms of changes and we're ready. So
Well, changes being who's actually doing it and whatnot.
I'm gonna remember you said that. Let me write that down.
Wait, let me retract that.
Yeah.
I motion to approve the 2027 budget timeline and procedures.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, item 6, library, consideration discussion, library project update. Kelsey?
Yeah, so Amy Trumbull is not here tonight because as we all know, the library grand opening celebration is tomorrow night, which is very exciting. Amy and Erica and Julie and their staff have been running their tails off all really the past few weeks, getting everything ready. It looks amazing over there. I was just there today. But just a reminder, I know everybody here knows, but more for the public, that the library grand opening is tomorrow night, Thursday, June 4th, beginning at 4 p.m. with a ceremonial book pass. We're passing 50 books from the old library to the new library. Beginning at 5 p.m. We're going to have some singing. The celebration will start. We'll have some comments from myself, from the library board president, and a public official. And then we will go into the ribbon cutting around 5:30, 5:45 and make our way inside for viewing the library, some refreshments. We do have Fifth Avenue in front of the library between Railroad and First Street closed for the event. So we hope everybody can make it and celebrate with us. It's definitely a sentimental milestone for our community since it's been going on for so long.
Anybody who would like to be in the line to pass books, meet at the gazebo.
Yep.
At 3:45.
Thank you, Larry. Yep, thank you, Larry.
You said this wasn't open in docs? Just clear.
No, John, there's no open tax for this one. If you would like to frequent one of our local establishments or restaurants after the grand opening celebration, I'm sure they would love to see you. Beggars can't be choosers, John.
Well, thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, of course.
We will see everybody tomorrow night. Anything else from the board?
Move to adjourn.
There you go.
6:18.
Record.
Did you second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.